My name's Claire and I'm a glass worker at the Blue Flame Glass Studio, specialising in lamp work and flame work. I started flame working about 18 years ago when I wasn't very well, and it really gives you a kick up the bum to think about what you want to have done and what you want to have tried. I had the amazing opportunity to do a weekend course in lamp working, absolutely loved it, then went on and had all my operations and it all went very well, I'm really pleased to say. And it then meant that I had all this time afterwards in recovery. Glassworking was what I turned to help me through all of that. What I love doing is being able to provide these experiences for other people in the hope that it will bring them as much joy and a bit of art therapy as it did for me. The work that I really love doing is bespoke custom pieces for people. There's something really special about creating something that people feel is completely unique to them. From toadstools and dragons through to Venetian implosion pendants where people are choosing all of the colours of the petals. It really keeps it exciting for me to keep making different things. I just love anything that's kind of like fantasy and magical, the whimsy in it and the fact that you can absolutely make it up and make it look however you want to. It really fires all the creative bits of my brain. My favourite thing to make is definitely, at the moment, it changes all the time, but it will be the Norfolk sunset pendants like these ones here. So they're completely inspired by our amazing sunset we have in Norfolk, and I still think that they are the best sunsets anywhere in the world. Feel free to try and change my mind, but you won't. But everybody loves to come in here and be able to create something that reminds them of this beautiful place by putting this gorgeous gold stone in the top here, so it's got a really nice gold sparkle with the sea underneath. So that's definitely a really satisfying, really lovely piece to make for me because it's linking with the place that I love so much as well. The thing that I really love about lamp working is it's all of the joy and the fun of glass working without it being really labour intensive, so you're not having to stand there sweating and finding it really difficult to do. We actually use a torch, and you can see you can sit down while you're working, which makes it far more accessible for any age group. And we use glass rods, and the most beautiful glass comes from Venice, and it all comes pre-coloured. So rather than having a great big crucible or anything that we're actually gathering all out of, like with bigger glass blowing, we're actually sitting here and basically melting the rods and layering them up, and it's like painting with them. So I'm making the transparent glass runnier than the opaque one and just wrapping it around the outside. And then I'm going to pull that into what we call a stringer, which is basically a thinner paintbrush for us to do more detailed work with. And it's a bit like chewing gum when you first start out. Reaches 1,200 degrees and it goes to like this toffee consistency. And that's the state that we want to work with it in. So I'm going to start off with this transparent glass, and we're going to make what's called a punty. And what I love about the glass is the fact that you have to let it melt and flow. It just does its own thing, you can't rush it. Glassworking's been this incredible lesson for me, and just letting things happen when they're ready. And then we're essentially going to turn it into like a glass pizza. So we end up with lots of different lines and dots on the top. And then wherever we're shaping it, we're making sure we use gravity to our advantage rather than trying to work against it. So we'll let it drop and then push it onto the marver. And this is like a graphite paddle, and we use graphite because it creates a really fine layer of steam between the glass and the graphite so it doesn't stick. You can see I'm just pinching this out here. Then we can use our stringer that we made earlier to put some petals on here. And what I love about these pendants is the fact that you never know exactly what they're going to look like because they bloom inside the glass. So I'm going to heat it from the back first and then the side. And it happens quite slowly, but the clear glass from the back of the pendant travels round to the front and starts to push the coloured dots into the pendant and bloom the petals inside. So we can take the other one off. I offer lots of different glassworking experiences for people. One of my favourite ones is definitely the family experiences. And actually I've had 5-year-olds coming in and they work with me. Obviously we don't put them straight behind the flame on their own, but they have this incredible creative brain at that age, and they love colour, and so they actually they really interact with it really well, and anything to do with flames is always very captivating. One of the things that I have this mission to do is to try and get people coming along and enjoying processes more. I think that in life we get very caught up with the final result, and we worry too much about getting likes on things and the way things look, and we're actually losing that ability to enjoy a process of doing something. Because remember, actually, if you're so fixated on the end result, you're not going to enjoy all of that amazing time that you have beforehand. And with glassworking, that's really important, because you never know what you're going to get at the end, especially when you're first starting out. Things can crack and break, and so it's all about getting as much as you can out of a process. And I think that's something that we could all really do with taking forward in life, and actually using that in general, and just realizing that we need to stop being fixated on worrying about what our end result is and actually live day to day.